Hi guys, I'm Anita and I'm back with another video. Today I wanted to do a quick Monday reads. Again, I haven't read very much over the past week. I don't know, I think I'm getting into that slightly slumpy version of myself that I get into around November, December-ish. Last year I avoided it somehow, I'm not sure how, but I definitely did. I did read a lot more. And I'm not sure what it is this time around. But I ended up finishing two books and a graphic thing. So 3 things in total, and I'm going to talk about them today. I'm not going to talk much about my plans because I'm participating in the one readathon to rule them all this next week. So if you want to know what I'm planning on reading next week, you can go and watch my TBR for that, because that is my focus over the next week. But I am going to mention what I'm also currently working on, and what I'm planning on still working on over the next week, even though I'm in that readathon. The first thing that I finished last week was Hogfather by Terry Pratchett. I talked about this already last week, and as I was quite about halfway through it at that point, and I finished it. This is one of my favorite Terry Pratchett books ever. I think you could tell last week when I was talking about it that it was definitely one of those that I really have been enjoying. The Death sub-series has been definitely one of my favorites, and it still is. The only sort of not so great book in that series so far for me has been Soul Music, but otherwise I've loved every single one of them. Granted, it's the 4th one, so like the other 2 as well as this one has been some of my favorite Terry Pratchett books that I've read so far. This is definitely an interesting take on the sort of Christmas holiday feels. It is set in the Discworld, obviously, and what happens is that there's someone wanting to kill the Hogfather. The Hogfather is the most prominent person at Hogwarts night, or whatever you want to call it, and that is their equivalent of Christmas. So when Death sort of finds out that the Hogfather has disappeared, he has to try and make sure that people are still believing in the Hogfather, so he takes the presence of the Hogfather. And we also see a lot of this story from Susan's perspective. Susan is the Death's granddaughter, so she has some of the traits from Death that she can take with her, but she's more trying to find all of the other guards and make sure that they can help them making people believe in Hogwatch and in the Hogfather, so that otherwise there will be no tomorrow, if you will. So that was really, really interesting and a really, really good take of the holiday story. Death as Hogfather was amazing. Susan's part of this story was amazing. I really enjoyed how she developed in this specific book, and I just really, really enjoyed it so much, and I gave it 5 out of 5 stars. No surprises. Honestly, definitely one of my favorites. The other book that I also finished this past week was Daisy Jones and the Six. That was definitely a book that didn't meet my expectations. I was so looking forward to this book. I loved The 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo so much. And I talked a little bit about this book last week because I was already then not feeling this book very much. And I think sort of it is because of the formatting. I thought it felt a little bit disjointed the way it was written, the way it was told. I don't like it. I didn't like it. Was so it made to me the story really clunky, and it kept switching from character to character, and for me that just didn't work at all. And I was not super interested in the overall story of Daisy Jones and this band, the Six, Daisy Jones and the Six, which was sort of a 70s band, or 80s band, 70s band, I think. And sort of talking about how they came about, how they ended up where they did, and who this story is essentially about. And some part of it I like, but the majority of it I couldn't. And it just felt a little bit too flat for me in terms of my expectations, and so I give it a 2.5 stars for that. Another thing that I finished over the past week was Troldeliv og Ogres You, which is a Christmas story set around, this is apparently a longer running picture book series that follows these ogres that lives in the forest, and this is their version of Christmas. They are visited by a nisse, which is a Danish Christmas persona that is very, very big part of the Danish essence of Christmas, if you will. And it's quite an interesting story, and I really enjoyed it. It was very cozy, and I at least enjoyed the art style so much. I mean, it's the same one who draws the art or the illustrations for the Valhalla series, which I am a big fan of. So it is definitely very great, and I'm looking forward to reading more from this series. So yeah, it was a lot of fun reading this, and I'm definitely looking forward to reading the other volumes in this series and starting over from the beginning and work my way up. One of the things that I've been working on over the week was Psoriasis by Sue Burke. I got about 40% into this book, and I think I'm enjoying it. It's a little bit difficult for me to grasp overall. I like the narrative, I like the narrators, sort of, but I'm not sure if I'm getting the whole thing. So I'm not sure if I'm missing out on something, but I have to put this specific book down for the remainder of the month and see if I can't finish it in the beginning of December instead, because now I'm going to be focusing on the other readathon, the one readathon to rule them all that I'm participating in this week. The other book that I've also been working on over the week but haven't finished is The Knife of Never Letting Go by Patrick Ness. I managed to get it 162 pages into this. It was going really well. At one point, I had a day where I was reading like 70 pages, 60 pages, I think, in an hour. I was just reading for an hour and I read 60 pages. I was really feeling like, well, then I can definitely make good progress the next days and be close to finishing it by the weekend, or even finish it like on Sunday today when I'm filming this. But then on Wednesday and Thursday, I had some really rough days at work, and when I came home, I was dealing with some headaches, some tension headaches, and I couldn't focus on reading at all. And so that really changed a little bit. And this weekend, I've only been reading, I think, about 50 pages. So yeah, but I am planning on trying to finish this over the next week because it's a big priority. So I have to still make a big focus on this alongside this book, which is the one readathon to rule them all book. So these two books will be my main focuses on my reading over the week, and hopefully it will be doable and manageable and whatever. So yeah, those are the things that I've been working on over the past week. Let me know in the comments down below what you have been reading over the past week. Have you read any of the books that I've been talking about today, and what were your thoughts about them? Are you participating in the one readathon to rule them all, or something else? Also let me know about that. But yeah, if you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and I'll see you in the next video very, very soon. Goodbye.